symbolizes an arc. We're going to take a look at one more example of how a circle can have a couple of different central angles, and you have to be able to identify whatever central angle that they're referring to. So this time we're going to take a circle. We're going to put 3 endpoints on the circle, and we're going to make sure we put the center in the middle. I'm going to tell you that this little piece right here, let's say is 70 degrees. And let's say that this piece right here is, let's say 120 degrees. Can you tell me what this piece is right here? How would we figure that out? I would add the 120 with the 70 to get 190. And then I take 360, subtract 190 to get 170 degrees. Okay? So we have 3 angles, a 70-degree angle, a 120-degree angle, and a 170-degree angle. Let's put some letters X, Y, Z. Can you tell me what the degree of the arc, or the central angle, which is angle X, Y, Z, which means I start with X and stop at Y. I start here, I go around this way through Y all the way to Z. If I want to know the degree of this arc, which is also the degree of this central angle, I would add these 2 numbers together. We already did the math here. That angle would measure 190 degrees, and the arc X, Y, Z would also be 190 degrees. The last thing we're going to do is find the length of the arc. If I'm finding the length of the arc, then I want to know how long that part of the circle is. If I'm talking about how long that part of the circle is, then I'm dealing with the circumference of the circle. So I take the circumference of the circle and I multiply it by the degree of the central angle. And I put that degree over 360 degrees. Let's look at an example. Here we have a circle with a center, and we'll use a central angle of 30 degrees, and we have a radius of 3 centimeters. If I have a circle that has a radius of 3 centimeters, and I want to know the measure of this arc, let's put some letters. Let's say W, V. If I want to know the length of W, V, then I would say the circumference of the circle times 30 degrees over 360 degrees. The 30 degrees comes from here. 360 degrees is the total amount. So how do I find the circumference of the circle? Remember, that's pi times diameter. I'm going to multiply that times 30 over 360. Pi times, if the radius is 3, then the diameter is 3 plus 3, which is 6. Times, I'm going to go ahead and reduce this now. The 0 cancels the 0. 3 goes into 36 1 times, and that's 1 over 12. Put this over 1, put this over 1, and then I can cross cancel. The 6 becomes a 1, the 12 becomes a 2. So what I then have is pi times 1/2. Remember, 1/2 is just 0.5. If I want to leave it in terms of pi, I could say 0.5 pi, which is the same as 1/2 pi. If I wanted to find the exact answer, I would multiply 3.14 times 0.5. Doing the math, moving the decimal 1, 2, 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3 spaces, I get the answer 1.57, and the answer would be centimeters. The length of this arc is 1.57 centimeters. Don't get the length confused with the degree. The length is how long it is. When I'm finding the length, I must use the circumference formula.